What is going on? Today we have the developer behind BNBPay, a new crypto project. His name is James, and we need to find out if he is someone I could invest my time and money into. Is he a scam? Is he legit? Is he something that's going to help me get to that one sweet Bitcoin, or is he just going to rug pull me? I don't know. We have to figure out what he's about in this crypto project. If you're new to this channel, my name is Aaron. I'm on a journey to one Bitcoin. I'm a brand new crypto investor. Okay, I'm not your financial advisor. This is never financial advice. I'm a cowboy. You see a hat, right? I give cowboy advice. You can't sue for that. I have a little lizard brain, gorilla arms, and diamond hands exploring the wild west of cryptocurrency with a whole bunch of other cowboys. If you want to join us, hit the subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell for any updated content. Give us a like button on this video. If you want to, help grow this platform, if you're feeling generous, because that's all I'm asking, is if you want to give us a free like. Of course, head to the Saloon. That's the Telegram channel where we're always talking about new coins and next money moves and entry points, and there's a lot of big brains in there. Now, if you're not familiar with what this is a developer AMA Ask Me Anything interview, and I was getting scammed by all these shady YouTubers who are getting paid to promote a coin that they don't even believe in. And developers, when I started learning about this, they were upset with these YouTubers. They were like, they're not even giving any energy. So I came up with the idea of having my own AMAs, where I interview a developer, and the developer can then make the case for themselves with energy, with insight that I couldn't get from a website, and then I can get compensated and ask the most hardest hitting questions. I don't have to pull any punches. I don't have to pretend and do the show and dance for the developer or for you. Like, I get true information, and then you and I get the best information on whether or not we could, invest our money into it. We only have so much. I only have so many pennies, and I need to make the wisest, most efficient moves with my money in crypto. And so with that, if you're watching this podcast, if you're watching this video, we have got the BNBPay developer, James, in the hot seat today. James, welcome to the hot seat.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. So before we even get to your crypto project BNB Pay, I need to get to who you are. We are all wondering whether you're someone who's legit, who's someone we could trust. And so if you could give me a little bit of a backstory of who you are, your background, and what you're bringing into the crypto industry.
Sure. So my background is in finance. I've been a finance broker running my own company for about 5 to 6 years now.
Okay.
And I got into crypto in 2017. It's a funny story because most of the time when you ask someone what's the first cryptocurrency that you heard of or you bought, most likely the answer is going to be Bitcoin, right? The big daddy.
Yeah.
For me, I saw a Facebook ad which said Ethereum is the new Bitcoin. And my first question was, what the hell is Ethereum? My second question is, what the hell is Bitcoin? So I clicked on the ad, I guess dived down the rabbit hole as we all tend to do. And yeah, just fell in love with this crypto space, everything from the tech, the decentralization of it, how it gives individuals, sovereign freedom, away from the states and from government, etc. The idea behind it, the monetary policies, basically just pretty much delve into it. Being pretty much full time, looking at crypto from an investor's perspective since 2017. Little less probably during the winter markets, 18, 19, and then back into it, full swing of it since 2020.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's a funny story how I end up joining BNB Pay. I actually isn't one of the original founders. I was, so my other team members, Thiessen and Francis, they started BNB Pay. Thiessen is a good friend of mine. He's been crypto, and we've been investing in crypto knowing each other for a while through crypto investing. And he approached me like couple of days or a week into the project and asking, hey, look, we're looking to add more members into our team. We need help with marketing, PR, all that sort of things. And next thing you know, I fell in love with the project, and here I am, working on BNB Pay full time since we've been around for a month now.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you guys are a month old. So yeah, tell me, what is BNB Pay?
So BNBPay is it runs on Binance Smart Chain. The idea behind it is, looking at payment, merchant payment, right? So um, the current industry, the current trend in crypto is all about meme coins, DeFi, NFT. They're the hot the hot coins that's on the market at the
Gaming
moment.
now.
Yeah, gaming as well, absolutely gaming. And originally, right, Bitcoin, and this is going back a while, I guess. The original white paper by Satoshi, it was supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash, right? So there's not really as much of an use case or project out there that's actively pursuing that use case. And we believe that there's a niche in this space, basically using crypto for payments, right? Commerce payments specifically, everything from online payments, e-commerce, right? Your e-commerce stores, to offline brick and mortar, restaurants, cafes, shops. They all currently are still on legacy payments, right? You got your Visa, your Amex, your Mastercard that's dominating the space, and PayPal. But crypto payment is still very far and few in between. So we're looking hopefully to change that. Yeah, and bring crypto to a wider audience that otherwise wouldn't have been
Got
exposed to
it.
it.
Got it. So you come from a background in finance, and then you've been in the space for 4 years, in and out, mostly in, but the winter months you're out. And then you come across this project with one of your good friends, Teasen, and it's BNBPay, and it's focused mainly on merchant processing. And you're looking, and you're saying that because there's so much distraction of DeFi and NFT and gaming, that the original Bitcoin was meant for a peer-to-peer cash transaction, and that's the main mission that you're claiming here, is that a peer-to-peer cash transaction, decentralized, of course, and you're focusing more on online e-com and brick and mortar. So everywhere. So everywhere that's merchant processing is all of that. Is that about right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, not here to go into any debates about whether Bitcoin, the block wars, whether it's supposed to be a store value or a currency, basically, right? Not, not that. I think that debate's been had and won with Bitcoin, but I think in general, just because I think we see that. The current legacy financial payments for e-commerce and brick and mortar is quite inefficient, right? On the one hand, you've got your Visas and your PayPal's charging merchants anywhere between 1 to 3 or 4% per transaction, and on the other hand, you've got customers. Let's say if I'm based in Sydney, Australia. If I wanted to buy something from a European store or an Asian store and transact through PayPal or Visa, I'm facing a hefty exchange rate charge, right? All of these transaction fees and exchange rate charges all go to the banks or payment processors. So we believe that BNB Pay is a very viable replacement. It's it's got a lot of the characteristics that existing financial processes have, such as almost instantaneous payments, frictionless, borderless, etc. But at the same time, we're taking away the need of this middleman, where they're charging hefty fees for payment processing for crypto. So yeah, that's the
So
idea.
So how are you doing this? So like pretty much every cryptocurrency out there wants to be this, right? They want to be that method of payment. They want to be that dominant currency that is used interchangeably every day. And there's only so many that can do that, and so many that have the team or know how to do that. So how are you guys possibly different from any other coin out there that would want to do this?
Yeah, it's a great question. So firstly, the team, I think our devs, Thiessen and the team that he's leading, they've got 10 plus years experience in payment processing.
Oh,
Everything from online to e-commerce integration, plugins to offline point of sale systems, right? He's led teams and previous projects that he's worked on from start to finish, right? Fully integrated payment system. Legacy, of course, not in crypto, but that's yeah. So and then also he's had experience in building a exchange in back in 2017 to 2018. Unfortunately, he timing wise it wasn't the best. They couldn't get funding during the winter times and where you know the big crypto basically crashed. They couldn't get funding. But nevertheless, you know, he has all that experience behind him to be able to build a successful payment system from start to finish.
so yeah, so
Yeah,
you're doing a POS, which is a point of sale system. I'm pretty familiar with some of these, how this economy, how this system works, where you know, someone uses a point of sale system, something like a Square Cash or something like that, or whatever. They make the payment there. That system transacts with their bank. That bank transacts, and then that system then talks to the other person's bank to ensure that they have the necessary funds. This is why if anyone is spending on their credit card, it says pending, like a charge is pending, because all of that is talking to itself. However, with crypto, as we all know, is that stuff is not needed, decentralized. So what you guys are really doing is you guys are doing like a point of sale system, which is BNBPay. How do you plan on integrating it with? Okay, so I run a store, right? I got some merch, I got my shirt, right? If I sell it online, am I? What do I do? Do I download like a plugin or something, or an app, or how do you get to someone like me who's trying to sell some merch?
so if you run an online system, and we will have a demo coming out in the next week or two with a live on one of our first merchant partners, who runs a coffee bean wholesaler, I guess, yeah, online store. So we'll have our BPay integration plugin stored in there on their store, and then people will be able to just go there. Initially, we have plans, you know, everything in our roadmaps from BPay app, wallet app, to e-commerce integration, POS, and then also an ecosystem where you can deposit different BSC coins that also can stake and earn. But yeah, so basically it'll just be initially for the prototype stage, you'll just use your own wallet, be it MetaMask or Trust Wallet. Load up BPay, and then send BPay, you know, to the corresponding merchant's address, and then that's how you'll just pay for the goods and services. And then we can have the option for merchants if they want to convert automatically to a stablecoin. BUSD, I guess, the BNB stablecoin, the BSC stablecoin. So therefore, there won't be any volatility and fluctuations with the price.
Okay,
That's for
so
the online portion.
gotcha. So I think I was a little confused. So you're saying that you have to pay with your coin, BPay, and then
In, yeah.
I pay someone else, you know, like I pay them in BPay, and they have the option to then switch it into BUSD.
Correct. Yeah. So that's for the initial stages, and then of course our grander plan is to incorporate many of the BSC tokens that's outside of BPay. The idea is, you know, you can stake your Safe Moon, for example. You can pay with your baby Doge, mini Doge, and you can also earn rewards when you do.
Now, so many of those like SafeMoon have reflectionary transactions? Will that happen every time I pay something?
Well, not when you pay because you're spending it, but if you're staking it on our platform, yes, you will.
But anytime I transfer my coin, it removes a 10% fee.
Uh, y- Sorry, you mean like if you're paying a merchant, there'll be a
Yeah, yeah,
ten
yeah.
percent
Like
fee?
if I'm paying
Yeah.
a merchant, if someone wants to pay me in SafeMoon, they're gonna lose an additional 10% because of that, because of transferring their SafeMoon, right?
So yeah. So what we'll do is, I mean, for the likes of SafeM and things like that, obviously it's outside of our control, so there's nothing we can do about that. But for the likes of BPay, for example, if you want to pay with your BPay, if you want to, yeah, if you want to make a purchase with your BPay, we'll have when we have on board a new merchant, we will have the wallet to be on the excluded address. So there won't be any payments when you go and pay with BPay for any of these merchants. So yeah, that alleviates the because we have a 10% transaction fee as well, transaction tax as well. So that will be excluded. We'll have excluded addresses for the merchants.
Oh, okay, okay. So BPay also has a 10% transaction fee. And so I'm assuming some of it goes to devs, some of it goes to marketing, some goes to burn, some liquidity. I'm sure, like, I mean, I could look at the
Yeah,
website for the how it breaks down, but you're
yeah, yeah.
saying that won't be an issue if you have a BPay merchant.
Yeah, absolutely. So, for example, if your store where your people want to pay with BPay to buy your merch, right? Currently, if you're transferring BPay from address to address, there's a 10% fee, 10% tax. Yeah, if you're a partner, if you're one of the merchants that's onboarded with us with BNB Pay, then yeah, you'll be on the excluded address, and there won't be any fees incurred when people are uh, paying through BPay.
Gotcha. So I'm just thinking about this. I don't want to pay an extra 10% tax. I mean, all these legacy for payment processors, they're only charging a 4% tax at best, 5% by your admission, right? So if I pay a 10% tax, I mean, I have to shop with people who are preferred merchants, right? I mean, that just has to happen. The only option would be if I use BUSD inside the BPay app or BPay plugin. If someone has a BPay plugin or something like that, and I use another coin that's not going to hit me 10%, right? I mean, like that doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously our goal is to integrate with as much many to integrate and onboard as many partners as merchant partners as we can, so they all go and accept BPay. So it becomes a transaction, a currency that's widely adopted. But if at the end of the day, if the merchant doesn't know about us or isn't onboarded with us, then they won't be accepting BPay anyway.
How far are we out to for um like a plugin for like a website or something like what's the first tier? I know there's like you said brick and mortar like restaurants, coffee shops, e-com, anything online. How far out are are you out for like your first person to be a merchant and be paid, whether it's brick and mortar or online?
Yeah. To in terms of merchants, we've already have five now, five merchants that's signed up with us.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yep, yep. So all of that's on our website.
Already, and you're only a month old. Five
We're
merchants.
only months old, yeah. So we've got five
Awesome.
merchants, everywhere ranging from coffee shops to the coffee bean wholesaler that I mentioned, an Italian restaurant over in Roma.
So you have like
Um,
brick and mortar. You have restaurants and coffee shops accepting BPay
yeah,
right now.
yeah, yeah. Some of them we approached. Some of them they just came to us because they're an investor already. Like the Italian restaurant bar and grill person, he was already an investor, and he said, "Hey, I'm a restaurateur. Can I, how do I go about accepting BPay?" So that's usually a lot of these conversations are from existing investors or people who's heard about us and are
Yeah.
excited to kind of try out our technology. So
So
yeah, that
it's just hitting me now that do you have a reflective action? What's the reflective action, or do you have a reflective action
we
protocol
do
in BPay? What is
we do.
that?
So the breakdown is, so the 10% tax, right? 5% is reflection.
Gotcha.
1.5, yeah, 5% is reflection. 1.5% is dev, goes to dev. 1.5 goes to marketing, and the other 2% goes to auto buyback.
Okay. Here's why I asked that, because typically I don't want to know that. I could just go on the website. But if you're holding BPay, you're making a percentage off of that 5% reflect every time. That's why you want to hold BPay, is because you could actually try to grow residually. I mean, it's a very small amount, but because this is one of those network goods, right? You need BPay to be accepted. It BPay is only valuable the more, rather, BPay is more valuable the more people that adopt it. And you need two
Absolutely.
people to adopt it. You need these merchants and you need the customers, people who are willing to spend it and willing to accept it. And so anytime those transactions go, and these guys are making money off of it, and then I mean, any holder is making 5% or a percentage of the 5% that's transaction. The problem I see here is the same one that I kind of harped on, is that yeah, all these other ones are doing that same thing. Like, why can't I just accept SafeMoon, right? But you're saying that they're not specialized in 10 years, with 10 years of payment processing in the team, with an building well, they're building an exchange now, but this payment processing, how does that play out? These 10 years of experience. I asked you how you guys are different, and the first thing you said was the team. It's got 10 years of experience of payment processing. What Help me understand, like, how that plays out. Is it in development of software? Is it in networking? How does that play out here?
Yeah, good question. I think it's a big mixture of both. Obviously, it's one thing to say you want to build a payment system for commerce. It's another thing to actually do it, right? It
Yeah.
really helps when you have done it from, build legacy payment solutions from start to
When you
finish.
spend a whole decade of your life doing this thing, yeah, of course it helps for sure.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, yeah, so I think that's absolutely crucial. Also, just speed onto the market as well, right? Like,
Mm.
the first yeah, the first company to do something different may not be the best in terms of tech or UI or graphics, but first onto market, first move advantage helps a lot in my
That's a big
opinion.
deal. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Now,
And then oh, yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
so
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh, that's okay, that's okay. Yeah, so I think that is definitely one part, and also you touched on as well networking, right? It's this is going to be a big project. It's not something that can be done. It's not going to be a one-man team that's building all these
No.
payment solutions, right?
Yeah.
There's yeah, and so having the experience, having the team around you, and then also having the existing networking networks that in the payment industries, people that you can rely on, people that how to open doors for you, or find you partnerships, etc. That you'll need to gain mass adoption. I think those are critical elements that we possess in our team.
I'll tell you what. I'll be honest with you here. I've seen a lot of developer projects have this same goal. They want to be the people who people use their token, their currency, and it's pretty much the same thing, barring the 10 years of payment and all that stuff. But you're the first ones that said, "Hey, we want to actually move into from BPay into a cumulative effort of all kinds of BSC coins, so that someone doesn't necessarily have to be bought into BPay to operate off of the BPay, you know, network or payment processor." That to me, I think, is the real gem of this. I just honestly, that like, these are my honest thoughts, that BPay, like, if it's BPay now, it's some other payment processor or some other payment way to, it's just a whole bunch of these coins asking a whole bunch of these merchants, take my, payment processing. However, when you get one payment processor that could handle a whole host of things, I'll give you an example. Like PayPal accepts, all these different fiats. Like, like they accept, you could pay through all these different coins or fiats, and then you could pay through multiple coins, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin, etc., USDT. And so I think this is right. I think this is right, but it's like I have to see past, in my opinion, I have to see past just this initial phase of getting a few people getting on BPay and getting everyone to love BPay and pay in BPay, but that to then have a foundation to bring on, hey, you're into that new coin, mini Doge Inu, super safe, like, oh yeah, you could pay in that too. Oh, thank
Yeah.
goodness. I'm trying to, what I mean? Like that to me
Yeah.
is really, really fascinating. That to me is really fascinating.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, I think absolutely. Like people are struggling. A lot of these coins are struggling with use cases outside of, you know, buying and holding, and hopefully goes up. Right.
Yeah,
Hopefully the
you give
numbers
use
go
case
up.
to every coin. Now that's real
Yeah.
value. You give use case to every single coin out there. If you could somehow, some magic way, I have no idea how to do it. Right? I don't have that nerdy, alien brain. If you could if you could accept payment in any of these BSC coins, that would make a killing. That
Yeah.
sounds awesome.
That that
So
is our that is our goal, ultimate goal. Yeah.
yeah, that does sound awesome because then you've won it. That is like, hey, yeah, you guys want to pay? Oh yeah, I don't have BPay and I don't want to trade and swap into BPay and I don't
Yeah.
know what coins I want to let go to. No, no, no. You just pay with Safe Moon Inuduj. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Like,
that.
yeah, exactly. You deposit your safe moon on there, you stake on there, you get rewarded, and then if you want to pay with whatever, right, your baby
Yeah.
Doge, you get you earn tokens as well while you're
That
doing it.
sounds that
So
sounds really that
yeah,
sounds really good. Honestly, that sounds really good. But I'm no dummy. Good things take time to create. So this is definitely if you're watching this video right now, you definitely need to have a long time and I think the developers would say this too. It would be foolish for you guys to say, yeah, we'll get this out by end of Q4 this year. It's like it doesn't make sense.
absolutely,
You could
absolutely,
have protocol
absolutely.
prototypes or beta and alpha testing, but that's impossible. So okay, so here's my other question. It takes two to tango here, and Papa don't dance by himself. How are you supposed to get merchants? What's the plan here? What kind of merchants are you going after? What's the plan on getting more merchants to accept BPay?
Yeah, look, I think that's the way I see it. Um, is it's not there's no magic formula, right? It's
Hmm.
not something that's going to happen overnight. We can make, and I know a lot of these new coins that's out there aren't shy of making bold claims. We can make bold claims that we'll be working with Shopify, or we'll be working with Magneto, or whatnot, right? In due course. But I think that's realistically, what for us, we're not about we're not about pump and dump or making a quick
No.
buck from this. We're building something we think that's revolutionary and takes time. So we're starting off small, right? Like I mentioned, the coffee shops, the local coffee shops. There's one in Malaysia, one in Australia, one in Singapore, the restaurants in Italy. So these are all probably places that no one's ever heard of, but they do exist, and they're our starting block, they're our foundations, right? I think once it's a game of numbers, right? If we can convince enough people, if we can convince enough merchants, sell them the upside of accepting crypto, accepting BPay, accepting any coin, it's better for them in the long run. At the end of the day, it's all about the money, right? It's better
Hmm.
for them in the long run to accept BSC tokens, and they see the benefit of it. They see that we actually have customers transact through it. It'll it'll just be like word of mouth, right? They'll
So
they'll,
what's
they'll
your
refer to that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got two questions, semi problems here. The first one is I'm looking for like a focus here, a roadmap. Like, are you going for coffee shops? Like and that's the small one. It doesn't really matter what you guys go for, right? Like it's whatever comes for first and who's
Yeah.
accepting. The real
Yeah.
thing is how are you convincing them? What's your pitch here? So like I'm out here. I've got Lizard Brain Coffee Shop, right? Got the espresso here, double shot mochaccino, cowboy latte, and and then you come in and you say, "Hey, we were wondering if you would like to accept BPay as a payment processor that people can pay you in BPay." I
Yeah.
say, why? Like, what good is it for me? What's your pitch here? How are you winning over these coffee shops or any future coffee shops?
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I think the pitch will be different from someone that's online, offline. It'll be different from someone that's based in Asia or based in a country where crypto regulations are fairly tight versus a more Western country or Australia or
Yes,
America
sir.
where crypto is a lot more widely accepted, right? So I think it'll be a tailored conversation depending on the person and the jurisdictions that are in. Um, and yeah, it'll vary. Like anywhere, like if they're, for example, the online merchants, if they're currently, if you have one based in Europe and you're getting a lot of sales from rest of the world, and you're seeing that for every $100 that a customer is spending, you're only getting $95 back in your bank account.
Hmm.
Well, the natural question is, okay, so if BPay comes along, how much more will I be getting, right?
Okay, so
If it's
numbers.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, right, merchants they're there to make they're there to balance the books. They're there to make a profit.
Hmm.
If they're only getting $95, so I'm a e-commerce in Europe, and I'm only getting $95 every time someone transacts and pays 100 buys something for $100,
Hmm.
and BPay can solve that problem, give you $99 instead of 100. Well, it's an
Right.
obvious solution.
And it makes sense too because at $100 it's nothing, but at $1 million a year that is something. So no,
Absolutely.
I fully understand that. Um, but of course, this is a network good. Network good meaning that it gains more value the more people that hold it. And
Correct, correct,
that's
yeah,
just the
correct,
nature of payment processors, right? Especially this one.
correct, correct, yeah. So I won't pretend and say what we're proposing to do here is easy, simple, it's straightforward, right? There's a lot of working parts, everything from the product, the dev or the product, how it looks, how it feels, how easy it is to use, to like getting more merchants on board and partnerships and things like that. So it's going to take time and a lot of effort and resources, but we're confident we've got the right team and the people behind it to make it work.
Gotcha. So you said you have 5 people who've already adopted this. I'm guessing all of them of which are investors, right, into BPay.
Uh, I mean, yeah, some were investors first, and then some were investors after. But yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
definitely.
Understood. Yeah, because I only see this working if you find adoption at scale, right? You're not doing these one-on-one meetings that like people are, you're onboarding at scale, right? That's the way to do this merchant
That's the end
processing.
goal. Absolutely. Yeah.
And the only way to, and there's multiple ways to do it at scale. You could either, try to partner with some kind of big aggregate like a WordPress, not that you can, but you know what I mean, like a center where they already you could tap into their network of merchants. Because the one-on-one game is impossible. Like that's just
I agree.
it's too much.
I
You're gonna
agree.
be the number one. You can't go one-on-one right here. You got to go scale.
I agree. I agree. I mean, the early merchants, the adopters are more or less just to showcase and to
Ah, okay, yeah.
prototype to show that we will have a working product, right? This is how you use it. This is how
Hmm.
easy it is to transact. These are the immediate benefits that you can see from a merchant's perspective and from a customer's perspective,
Yeah.
and then from there on, right? It's just a matter of getting the right partnerships and the right people involved to grow
Which is
at
great
scale.
that you have like different countries and different industries because it can show the flexibility and use case of BPay in these different, spaces, which is fantastic. I love that. Is there anything
Yeah.
else left on the table that you like any secret updates that BPay has up its sleeve that like, you guys are working on or something down the line that I could be excited about?
I think things are moving fast. So I think months into it, we'll have our prototype online integration, paying with BPay basically from start to finish, in the next week. If not
Oh,
this week, next week.
oh, that's close.
Yeah, yep. So we'll record that from start to finish and yeah, showcase basically paying a merchant using BPay. And then yeah, like continue working on our roadmap. I guess our roadmap involves the app, the POS, the online payments, and then tying it all together, building a platform where like you said, we can accept any BSC cryptocurrency.
Does that include hardware? Are we bringing in hardware into this? Like whenever I go into like a place, there's like a little place to plug in my card and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Walk me through the hardware. Is there any hardware involved with this?
So we'll have our app, right, which is on your mobile wallet. We'll have physical cards as well, debit cards.
Oh,
These are debit cards. Yep.
okay.
And then those two tie in together. In terms of the hardware, I think they'll come from the POS side of things, the merchant side of things, right? Because the merchants obviously need a point of sale system to transact through. So no hardware for the users, but there will be hardware for the merchants, physical brick and mortar stores.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah. Is there anything left on the table that you want to let me know? That's like a fire burning in your belly that you want to let me know that we didn't cover over today.
Uh, no, I think you did a really good job, Aaron, covering everything, going through all the points. So I
Awesome.
think, yeah, I
Awesome.
think that's
Well,
everything.
I got one last question for you, but before we get there, well, I'll just give you the question, right?
Sure.
In a sea of cryptocurrencies, I've only got so much money. Um, the person watching this video and me, just tell us why we should be investing in BPay. Like one last like drive home. This is why you need to invest in BPay. This is why I believe in it, and this is why you should believe in it too. Before we get there, I want to just say, hey, if you're watching this video right now, here's my honest take. I love the vision, right? Somehow collect all the BSC's coins and have a single merchant processor through all that, where someone could adopt it. I think that is true value. You're adding to more value to these other coins that are coming out. I don't know how you're gonna figure that out. That's up to you guys, the brains, to figure that out. But that vision to me seems palpable. That seems like so right. That's something that's missing right now. The second best thing that I heard about this interview was 10 years of payment processing experience. That's something that is very, very important. I think if you're going to attack something like this is a daunting project, daunting project. And so, in my opinion, this is a long-term hold. Like you buy, you hold, you wait, and you see what happens. But you, of course, do your own research. Find your own entry points. If you want to sell, find your own exit points. If you make money, if you don't make money, it's not my fault. It's on you. Okay, you do your own research. This is all your own thing. And James, thank you so much for taking the time to have this interview with me. Last question here. Oh, and by the way, check out their stuff, right? Check out BNBPay. Check out, all the links will be in the description. Check out James. Do your own research. All right, James. Last question. Why should I be investing in BNBPay? What gets you excited? What gets you fired up about it? And why should I buy into it?
Yeah, great question. So I think absolutely I don't think we're the right appeal for everyone, right? Especially the crowd, the younger generation that got involved in crypto after Elon Musk started shelling Doge, right? Like we're not a pump and dump. I don't think we're going to have it's going to be for us. Our ideal investors are people who believe in our vision, who believe in that crypto payments will replace legacy payments in the future. Like we covered already, there's a lot of working parts that go towards making this a success, but we believe we will. We're still only a month into it, have our working prototype coming up. We've got we're not even listed on CoinGecko or CMC yet, actually.
Oh, wow.
Funnily enough, yeah, despite having more than 1,000 holders now. So yeah, if you're investing into us, you believe in our vision, you believe that BPay, crypto payments will be the future. And yeah, it's early days for you. If you're in it now, you'll be one of the first 1,000 something investors prior to the rest of the world seeing it on Coin once it's on CoinGecko and market cap. So yeah.
Wow. That's something very interesting. You're not even on listed on the exchange. So when you do list, as we all know, that thing can jump really nicely here. Yeah, I think there's like this definite wave of like, and I'm part of it, right? I'm part of it. Where like I just want to make a quick buck, get in these meme coins and stuff like that. But there is another side of me that I want that like stable long-term investor mentality that I mean I've been burned more times than I've made money off of these meme coins and these pump and dumps and all these kind of stuff. It's just the truth, right? But if I invest in real projects with a real long-term vision, with real teams behind it, with docs, devs, and the whole gig, the likelihood of me being, losing money and all that stuff is cut drastically. And I think that's the same case for most other people. If you're watching this video, be sure to check out BNBPay. Be sure to do your own research. This is you. You're the cowboy. You're the hero. I'm just bringing everyone together here. Okay, so you can't overthink things. Just have a lizard brain. Gorilla arms, diamond hands exploring the wild west of cryptocurrency. Hit the subscribe button, join the Telegram. We'll see you guys on the moon. James, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate it, Aaron. Thanks for the opportunity.
See you guys.